हेलो फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हो आप लोग। मैं मनोज, न्यू ब्लॉग में स्वागत है। आज के ब्लॉग में आगरा आया हुआ हूँ, जेपी प्लेस होटल में। आज के ब्लॉग में डॉक्टरों का बहुत बड़ा कॉन्फ्रेंस होने वाला है, हो रहा है। आज उसी का मैं ब्लॉग बनाने जा रहा हूँ। आइए देखते हैं आज के ब्लॉग में क्या क्या खास है, क्या क्या नई नई चीज़ है। ठीक है, ओके। देखिए ये होटल का आगे का ब्लॉग है, आइए देखते हैं। ये देखिए ये गेट है, ये पार्क बना हुआ है सामने का। आइए दिखाते हैं, जा रहे हैं आगे के साइड में। ये देखिए दोस्तों, ये है पार्क का नज़ारा। देखियो यहाँ का पार्क, होटल के बाहर का पार्क है। ये होटल 5 स्टार होटल है। अंदर का भी वीडियो दिखाएंगे। ये देखो बड़े बड़े डीजे लगा हुआ है। ये देखिए ये है होटल का फ्रंट। ये देख सकते हैं कारपेट बिछा हुआ है। ये देखिए, चलते हैं आगे। ये देखिए सब लोग फ़ोटो खींच रहे हैं। देखते हैं आगे का। ये देखिए दोस्तों, कितना बेहतरीन लुक है। ये 5 स्टार होटल है। ये देखिए, वेलकम डेलीगेट्स। देख सकते हो गाइस, अच्छी से पढ़ भी सकते हो। ये देखिए आगे का है। आइए अब अंदर चलते हैं, दिखाते हैं अंदर का नज़ारा। ये देखिए अंदर में से बोर्ड बने हुए हैं। बाहर से भी डॉक्टर आए हैं, जापान से भी। जापान का सारे दिमाग का डॉक्टर है। यहीं पे कॉन्फ्रेंस होने वाला है। आइए दोस्त, देखते हैं अंदर में कैसा बना हुआ है। ये देखिए यहाँ का लोग सारी चीज़ बने हुए हैं। ये देखिए दोस्तों, यहाँ पे बेहतरीन है, देख सकते हो। ये हम लोग ऊपर जा रहे हैं, ऊपर का नज़ारा देखो। सीढ़ी में चल रहे हैं। ये देखिए दोस्त, कितना बेहतरीन है। 5 स्टार होटल है, आगरा का जेपी प्लेस होटल। ये देख सकते हो यहाँ का लुक कितना बेहतरीन है। साफ सफाई देख सकते हो, प्रेस भी देख सकते हो। ये देखो खिड़की। चलते हैं आगे। ये देखिए शीशे भी देख सकते हो। ये देखिए, ये देखो बाहर का भी नज़ारा देख सकते हो। बाहर में ये रहा बाहर का एंट्री गेट है, इधर से भी है। ये देखिए यहाँ पे लोग हाउस कीपिंग वाले हैं। ये देखिए कितना बेहतरीन लगा रखे हैं बीच में। देख सकते हो नज़ारा। 5 स्टार होटल है ये, आगरा का बेहतरीन होटल, जेपी प्लेस होटल आगरा। ये देख सकते हो बाहर का। ये देख सकते हो यहाँ पे सही लगा रखा है। आप चलते हैं मीटिंग हॉल में, जहाँ कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रहे हैं उसी हॉल में चलते हैं। सब लोग वहीं जा रहे हैं। जितनी भी दिख रहे हैं सारे डॉक्टर हैं, ये देख रहे हैं। ठीक है दोस्तों, ये मेरे चैनल में बने रहिए। देखिए, लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए। ओके दोस्तों, ठीक है दोस्तों, अब जा रहे हैं आगे। हॉल के बाहर का ये है। आप चलते हैं कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम में, हॉल में चलते हैं। ठीक है दोस्तों, वहाँ चुप ही रहना पड़ेगा, कुछ भी नहीं बोल सकते हैं। ठीक है, ओके। ये देखिए,
So if there is a glamour here in the city of Colorado, You see, if the superior longitudinal fasciculus is displaced, projection fibers are displaced, and you can develop a well-defined plane of cleavage or dissection during the surgery. Similarly, in the post-central gyrus, the projection fibers are displaced, and when they are involved by virtue of pressure and deformation and not by destruction. So this has huge implications in glide muscle. So this is in the supplementary motor area. This is the difficult glide, and you will agree. And projection fibers are displaced and things like that. I want to quickly show you an unedited work. This tool in my right hand, if you carefully see that first I identify where is the tumor on the basis of navigation and ultrasound, and then you see how I can develop a plane of dissection. Don't go by the surgical technique and finesse of the surgery and the beauty of the surgery, but just see how a plane of dissection in this most dangerous area of surgery, you can make a complete en masse kind of resection confidently and precisely and radically. So over the period, as my experience goes, I can now understand the consistency of this tumor. These are more gritty tumor. There is suction. This is not suction. It is a suction plus dissector. I know the consistency. I can develop by the swaying movements of my suction tape a plane of dissection. And if you realize this is not an edited tape. This is completely unedited version of this image. And you can see that there is not a single time coagulation has come into picture, and this tumor is being removed in exactly 4 or 5 minutes. And that is radically. So this area tumor, supplementary motor area tumor, I have seen people going on for 10 hours or 15 hours. And if you can remove it radically with this concept of a swaying suction, I always say to my people who are around me that I have got eyes in my suction tip. This is not a suction, this is a dissector, and this whole operation has been done with hardly, if at all, any coagulation. More important, I want you to see how I am designing a plane of dissection, and that plane of dissection is very clearly seen here, okay? And this is the radicality of resection, and this is the tumor. This is another tumor. You see, there is functional MRI and all those things we have seen and we know, and concept is that these are confined tumors. There is a well possibility of a beautiful plane of dissection. Another tumor I will show you almost completely unedited. So I am showing you for that area coagulation which I have done in this case. There is not a single coagulation, and you see how I am designing a plane of dissection. This is not a very visually appealing like subarachnoid. When you do aneurysm surgery, you can beautifully show the aneurysm and subarachnoid spaces. This is not like that kind of beautiful. But what I am trying to say is, you see the plane of dissection, you see the plane of cleavage, and you see how it can be resected quite radically and generate that plane. There is no other dissection as fantastic as this. So this is another tumor. Basically, I will quickly show you very close to the motor strip. You have to know exactly the fiber tract. And my feeling is, if you do not know the anatomy of fiber tracts, what can happen, what will not happen. So that advantage I have in my department for last 10 years. The fiber dissection techniques which are going on in our department has given me that solidity that I exactly know which fiber tract is around, which fiber tract can be displaced, and I get information from various investigations during the operation, to the extent that neuromonitoring, which we had bought entire stuff of neuromonitoring in my department, I have reduced that use of that. Awake craniotomy, I have reduced the use of that because of this facility that you can do resection under direct resection. And just to show you this slide, you see this is the tumor and this is the normal brain. There is clear-cut difference. Of course, you use navigation, you use various kinds of tools, but different. Then the consistency, then the vascularity. You can design a plane of dissection in a very fantastic, beautiful manner. And this is the tumor. This was rather straightforward, and we have now over the years done in motor area and directly in the moter area and perforator. One vessel in the region of insula, there is a possibility of huge devastation which you will regret throughout the life, and patient will have to live with it throughout his own life. So it is not easy. You cannot take chances with insular tumors. So what is more important is your understanding of these tumors and the possibility of it being radically resected. So this is in the Broca's area, as you have seen, and this is the patient. I want him to talk here, but it will take a little bit time, but he is talking quite normally. And this is another tumor, insular tumors, various tumors we have done over the period of time, and we have got beautiful, beautiful outcomes. Corpus callosum is we never think what is corpus callosum. Do you know the corpus callosum has tentacles all over the brain? It is the foundation of the brain. We don't understand because it is not in our literature. And if you see this corpus callosum, how the fibers are going throughout the forceps minor, forceps major, and all the fibers around the ventricle, they are completely all around the major structures of the brain. And this is how the tumor extends. It extends in a particular fashion. Which area of the corpus callosum you have to avoid during surgery are critical issues, because this corpus callosum in the motor area is communication with the other side motor area. So this kind of neglect happens when you take an incision in the middle of corpus callosum. So you have to come from anterior, you have to come from posterior. That's of this approach. So this is the tumor. Either you come from midline, either you come interhemispheric, but there is an option from orbital surface. And this is my paper where we say that these kind of paraventricular tumors, intraventricular AVMs also we have removed like that, can be approached from a orbital surface of the brain. And on the basis of fiber tracks, which areas are safe, which is not safe, we have discussed in our article on this subject. So this glamour, you can come from here, you can come from here, but the orbital surface, what we have to protect is the uncinate fibers, what we have to protect is the IFOV, what we have to protect the anterior commissure fibers, and things like that. So white fiber is the key. Understanding of white fiber is an absolute key to glamour surgery. They arise from white fiber. They grow along the white fiber. They expand by displacing the white fibers. So that is the beauty. And this last picture which I am showing you is the Pape's circuit. And this is the only time in the world literature where the entire Pape's circuit has been dissected from the brain and has been removed outside. So this is a real-time dissection specimen, and I am sure you will be in awe or inspired by this beautiful dissection. Thank you very much, and best wishes to you.
Thank you, sir. That was a very lucid presentation, very demonstrative. You have actually showed the practical application of a white track section method in your surgery. Well, the floor is open for any questions or comments from the audience.
If you stick to the tumor, you cannot damage any normal brain or fiber. I follow kind of same technique, but in the insula and this deeper tumors, as you were mentioning, with a lot of perforators and the middle cerebral branches, and you do this en masse resection, because it's technically I feel it's quite challenging.
No, you cannot do it. You cannot do it, but these insular gliomas are also defined and confined tumors. They grow into the insular gyrus and sulci like fingers, and the vessels can be between the fingers of this tumor.
Right.
So you have to be, as I mentioned, the whole thing depends on preservation of all the perforators, and one perforator, if you damage, you have a hemiplegia at hand. And you will regret throughout your life. If you have left 50% of tumor, no issue, what they have hardly come with any symptom. So the issue is, in insular glioma is a completely discrete subject, and I have not touched much of it. I want to just give this concept that insular gliomas are also confined, but when you are dissecting near the blood vessels, you have to do a piecemeal resection.
Also, I would like to know, because the operative videos you showed, they're from the surface tumors, so you could make a nice plane all around. So how do you decide the strategy of entering the deeper tumors? Because in the pictures you showed some deeper tumors in the lobes.
See, it is a beautiful question, and it is a very valid question. the concept remains the same. Even if it is a brainstem glioma, the concept remains same. But the huge implications of damaging even a single fiber in brainstem tumor makes you go conservative. Makes you go, you see, when you are operating on any tumor for that matter, you have to use your brain. You cannot be heroic and you overconfident and start doing the same technique in brainstem. But the concept remains the same. In thalamic tumor, for instance,
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I think Dr. Sridhar for the rest of the
We will now break for lunch, but it has to be a very quick and fast lunch because we...
वाह क्या सीन है, वाह क्या सीन है।